Okay, good morning. I anticipate we'll get a few more people coming on. We usually do, so bear with me. But today is what, April? Nope, March. I guess I'm wishing, I don't know. March 24th. Happy spring. I think it turned spring over the weekend. So welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. I was out of commission yesterday. I had a procedure done, so I'm a little behind. So bear with me. I'll try to do the best I can here. We're going to do some catch up, and I'm just trying to see who's in. So, so Sarah, are you usually on? Is this your first one? You're actually in the meeting, I think.
Yeah, kind of. I did join times, but it's not always. I end up seeing the whole.
Introduce yourself, because we never get to see your face. So introduce yourself to everyone, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah. I'm with Keller Williams since last year, somewhere after last year, but I'm having my full-time job. I'm working as a food safety and quality assurance supervisor. So I'm still at my work. I didn't have time. I mean, I have most of the times when on Thursdays, I have some other work meetings, So it's always a clashing or conflicting. So I couldn't get a chance always to jump in. But today I said, oh, I'd see my schedule. I said, perfect. I can join in today. So,
well, yeah. Welcome. Nice to see you on here.
Thank you.
So we've known each other for a while now. So good to see you. Okay, so let's see. So that's, I think, I don't see anyone else new right now. I don't think Shawnee had, well, she's just connecting, so we'll give her a minute. So she'll be a new person, I believe, as well. So let's see. So we'll go through reminders real quick, and then I'll circle back. So just a reminder, we have Twilight again this evening. So those of you, please participate if you have availability. I believe it is Danny again this evening, but I could be wrong. And then just a reminder, boot camp is next week, starting tomorrow, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Most of you that are signed up should have received something from me yesterday. If you did not, please email me so I can get the information out to you today. Because you do need to have that for the class. It starts tomorrow at 10, and the Zoom link went out with the email. And it's the next 3 Fridays, so just make sure you put that on your calendar. Tomorrow we'll be covering a lot of basics, then we kind of tap into the purchase agreement, and then from there the purchase agreement, and then the last week is listing agreement. So it's very important information, especially for you new people.
Barbara, is it too late for that?
Is it too late to do what? To sign up?
To sign up for that?
I'll let you sign up if you send me the information. I mean, if you send me an email so I can get that out to you.
Okay, for sure.
So, and then just a reminder, we have our buyer presentation workshop. I haven't been hearing from anyone else wanting to sign up, so you're going to be missing out. That's coming up on Thursday the 7th, but the deadline.
I didn't get the email to sign up. Can you resend it to me?
For the buyer presentation?
Yes.
Okay, I will send out a reminder.
Me too, Barb, if you don't mind.
Okay, I'll just send out a reminder to everyone, because you do need to sign up, and you need to submit your buyer presentation in advance so that we have it. We're going to have it printed. It's an evening workshop. It's 5 to 7 in Manteca, but it's going to be, I'm hoping all the productivity coaches will be there. So we're going to all be there to help you. You're going to actually give your presentation. So this is a good opportunity to actually do this live in front of us. Okay, so that you don't have to just do it live. If you've never done it, you don't have to do it live in front of a prospective client. You're going to get to do it in front of us so we can help you. So it's really going to be a great opportunity for you. So I will send that out again. Again, it's April 7th, but the deadline to apply for that, I believe, is on the Monday before, and I don't have that in front of me. I didn't write that down. But we do need your buyer presentation sent in advance. Otherwise, you don't get to come. Okay, I'm going to be hard-nosed on that, because we want to have it out there printed, ready to have there. We have to be prepared for you so that we can do this correctly. So please adhere to those dates. You'll see them on the reminder.
Okay.
Let's see. Who was able to attend Leslie's class on the other Tuesday? I think it was. Cool. I would like some feedback on that. Janice, how about you?
I found it informative. I've actually used some of the forms before with my productivity coach and understanding them a little better. I think it helped me understand why I was using them from a legal perspective, right? And making sure which boxes needed to be checked.
Okay, good, good. And so I'm hoping Leslie will continue to do some of these kind of workshops, but so thank you, that's good. And Audrey, what was your perspective? What did you learn or gain from it?
Same. I hadn't used hadn't had any experience with the first two, which were the all I had done was the SIP. So it was very informative. And again, just listening to the experienced agents reiterate and go back with each other on, make sure you check this box. A lot of agents aren't paying attention. This is the last one on this page. All these are very important and you want to make sure that you cover all your bases. So it was good to just listen to the experienced ones, knowing, listening to them, that they knew how to do it, and it was going to teach me more also. It's going to make more sense once I do use them, but it was very helpful. And Leslie was great.
Good. Yeah, she's very, she and I met for a couple hours a week ago, and she's very contract oriented as well.
Okay.
And so I really love that. And I do want to see if she'll come back and do some more of these. And I wanted to possibly like the TDS and the seller purchase, not that one, the seller questionnaire, property questionnaire. I mean, there's different ones that I would really love her to focus on. So I will be getting in touch with her, and hopefully she will be able to concentrate on that for us as well. And I wish I could have been there, because it's always, again, you guys, myself and the other productivity coaches, we all continue to learn as well, you know? So it's really good to be there. And I had a conflicting appointment with Michele, Suzanne, so I couldn't, but I plan, hopefully can do that next time. So I'm glad you were there. Keep doing that. These are important. Contracts are so important. As you know, you always have been hearing us say, your coaches say, read the contracts, because really a lot of it is, if you read them, you kind of understand it. But as you know, going through it a couple of times is more helpful, because it keeps reminding you of why you're doing it. And sometimes the light bulb goes on second or third time, just like everyone else. So thank you for that. I wanted to remind you all, if you check your daily emails, there's a listing clinic with Gene Rivers coming up. That one is a paid for clinic, but if you haven't been in it, it actually is he's really good. I watched him, I did it a few times during COVID online, but it's going to be in person. And it's going to be in Danville on April 7th. It's from 9 to 5. It's $99, but he's great. Honestly, lots of good tips and information if it's something you want to focus on. And listings are king. If those of you who've had listings, you have to understand listings are king. Mostly because you're not going around writing 20 offers for it to get accepted. You're on the other end of it. So getting listings should always be your goal, especially in this market. So check your daily email. There is a flyer in there about it, and a QR code as well. It is a $99 commitment, but it's materials and lunch. So you get to drive there with your $5-6 a gallon gas, maybe carpool, and listen to a really an experienced agent talk about how he's been so successful in his business. Okay, so regarding back to like the class you did with Leslie, is there any, I mentioned the TDS, I think I said, and the seller purchase replacement, I mean, the SPQ. Are there any other forms, some of you have already been doing this, that you would like to maybe see someone like Leslie or so us focus on more, you know, be more purposeful about focusing on?
Barbara, I like the idea of talking a little bit about VA loans, and yeah, I never did a VA, so.
Okay, who was on the Monday meeting? The team meeting on Monday?
I was.
Okay, so he gave a great presentation on VA loans for one. I learned something that day. Some of you may have heard me say that. He talked about the pest report, and he talked about there's a special form for the pest inspectors to fill out with respect to a VA loan. I'd never heard that in 19 years. So perhaps I can get him on a call, or Marissa from Evergreen wants to come on a call in the coming week, so I could even have Marissa speak about it as well. But I thank you. I'll make a note of that and we'll bring up VA again. It is really helpful to know about, and it's also very helpful. I mean, it's something there's so many VA buyers out there, and if we can get them to take advantage of this. One thing he said the other day was always ask. Sometimes people don't understand that they can use it if they're a veteran, and it is a benefit to them, and it's not as scary as it once was. When I got into this business, VA loans were very, very difficult. They've really improved upon that, and Joe talked about that on Monday. So definitely an option we should always ask our clients. By any chance, are you a veteran? They may want to take advantage. Okay, but I'll make a note of that. Thank you. I did want to call out that Rana just closed a transaction. Congratulations. And also Jennifer Neverkovic closed one. Now, Jennifer works during the day, so she's never on these calls, but congratulations. It was her first deal. It was hairier than Harry. She closed a deal that was out in the country. Her very first deal, I think it was 8 or 9 acres with 2 properties. One was a manufactured home. Total learning experience. It was pretty crazy. And then at the last minute, the tenant took some of the property that they thought was part of the sale. So then she had to go back and find the seller to pay for the property. I mean, it was pretty interesting. They're always learning experiences. How many of you have closed a boring deal? Audrey, you closed one that was boring? You just went right through it? It was easy as pie?
Well, it was easy considering, and it was my first one. So
Okay,
consider
that's right. Your first one was.
Okay, yeah. So for me, it was.
Okay. And then how about your second one?
No.
Janice, so how about you? How have your deals been?
I think I want to say that everything went smoothly, but I also want to say that there were moments in time where the other agent made me feel a little uncomfortable, and I found myself kind of taking a deep breath and wanting to argue, but just kind of not.
Okay, and I think that's a good position. Arguing is not good. So when we get in those situations, we always have to take a step back, maybe get off the phone and then regroup and then go back and call or find out what's going on. And always circling back to, we never know where that person was right before they got on that call, and maybe they've had a bad moment and now you're getting the next call and you getting the brunt of it. So it's one of those sayings, and I'm not really big on all these sayings but seek first to understand is a good one. So I will say that one. So, it is a good business practice because arguing is not good. That's definitely going to be the next client agent you have to call because you want to get your buyer's offer accepted. And now they remember that you were arguing with them. So I always try to keep everything nice and smooth.
I do remember the first one. I want to say it was a mistake on my part, but hey, we fail falling forward, right?
Correct.
So in this situation, it's a seller's market, right? You would think that the buyer was going to let the person that was my client stay in the home for an extended period of time rent free, right? At least for the first month. Nobody's paying that first month's mortgage, right? And the agent that I was working with was stuck at the fact that he wanted his buyers to ask for $70 a day. And that's what we settled on. But, it was one of my regrets because I think I should have argued how,
Negotiated
better.
the free rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly, especially in this market. But don't look backwards, go forward. So you know that now for the future, and you got the deal closed. And remember, so here's a little quiz question. How long can an owner occupant, so I'm buying a home, I'm going to be an owner occupant. How much free rent or period of time can I allow that seller to stay in that house?
29 days.
Is it 90?
59 days at the max.
29 different form, and after you have to fill the rental agreement up to 90 days.
So those are, that's a different, yeah, that's correct. So let me give you, the first question was how long? And it's 60 days if they're an owner occupant. So you cannot let them stay in the home, the current owners in their home for more than 60 days before the owner occupant has to move into their own home, the new buyer. Okay, 60 days. What you're saying, Rana, is regards to the SIP and the RLAS. The SIP is seller in possession. That's 29 days. So that's 29 days. You use that form. If the current owner is going to stay in the home longer than 29 days, you have to use the RLAS, which is the residential lease agreement. I think I can't remember the acronym, what it stands for.
Right.
But it's RLAS. So those are two separate forms, but those are two different answers as well. So just so you understand that. Any questions on that?
Yeah.
Well, those can both be, I'm sorry, those can both be free rent, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
But
Right,
then
You're
if,
saying that, go ahead, I'm sorry.
you said 60 days. What if it's they wanted 90 days? So what's the situation here?
They
No.
can't. Not
can't.
if I'm buying a house to live in for my personal residence, I cannot allow that current seller to stay there for more than 60 days.
Mhm. And
That's
what
true.
if we like, I'm sorry, if we negotiate like free rent for 60 days and then the buyers decide to charge the sellers just after, like, for instance, 30 days, they want to charge them for the other
They
month.
can do
of the-
that.
They
They
can?
have to negotiate all that up front though.
Okay. And
Okay,
if,
you don't do that at the 30th day.
okay.
And so, and the reason for not longer than 60 days is because the mortgage, the loan, the lender can default on that buyer if they don't move into their own home. It is a
Mhm.
rule. Okay, so just remember, that's really important. No longer than 60 days if it's an owner occupant. Okay. All right, any other questions on that? Do I see a hand up, Sarah? Yes, no? Okay, all right.
So is it, I'm sorry, is it after 50 days they have to do their first payment, or it depends on the lender? Or this is like a rule of thumb?
Are
For
we
first
talking
payment,
about the loan?
the loan.
So the loan, usually you have the first 30, the first payment is include, and so that, I was gonna go back to that actually. Janice says no one's paying the first mortgage. Not
Mhm.
true. They pay it in their closing costs. The buyers pay it in their closing costs, okay? It's just they don't then write a check in the first 30 days, the next month, okay? But
Right.
they do pay it. And then what you said, oh, now remind me your question again, what was it?
So when is the first actual monthly payment?
Typically,
After-
it's the following month. So typically, it's the following month after it closes,
Okay.
okay? But you always do pay your first month in your closing costs.
Right, right.
Yeah, no one's living there for free. It just doesn't hurt as much. So, and honestly, you guys, until the last, 18 months now, I guess, nobody was really offering that at free will. You guys have come into a market where everyone's getting free months rent, free 2 months rent.
Mhm.
This isn't typical. Okay, so just want you to understand that you are in an atypical market. Okay, so that please understand that, because this is not going to continue this way.
Mhm.
Rana?
Yeah, and what's the rule for
You know.
when there is a rental? We said owner occupied. What about
So I
rent?
don't believe there might not be a rule, and honestly, I don't know the answer to that. I only know the answer about the owner occupied, but because they stress owner occupied, I'm gonna guess it's okay, because think about it. If it's a rental, someone's gonna be renting it anyway, right?
Okay. Mhm.
So
Oh,
if it's an if you're buying for investment, there's those same rules don't apply, because you're gonna have a tenant in your home if you're buying an investment property,
mhm.
right?
So it's all about negotiation. If you want them to stay or not, or right before you go into contract. For
It's
instance, if you
also about whether it's owner occupied or a tenant gonna be bought for investment. Very important to remember that, okay?
okay.
So I called out the two people who closed their deals. Reynaldo closed one too, and I don't remember if I mentioned that last week, so I just want to make sure I brought that up. But we also have new listings, and Sonia, you were here a minute ago. Sonia just got a new listing, just went on the market, and so congratulations, Sonia. And also, I had one more here. Where was it? I guess that was it. Okay, Sonia, congratulations. Sonia, are you able to talk? Or you might be at work. I'm not
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Okay. So I just wanted you to bring up that one little thing that you also did just to share about the photos, if you could.
Oh, yes. So Barbara was so nice of her to share that there was a 3D stager that was doing a sample for one free vacant space in the house. So I was prepping it for my seller. It's actually gonna go on the market next week. And we did one sample and then it turned out really great. And I showed my seller and she loved it. So then we did a couple more rooms for the house, which we ordered some more. It's going to be a 2-day turnaround. So it's kind of cost efficient. And I think it's a great idea since everyone's shopping online before they even see the house now. So it's cost efficient and a great idea to get some traffic to the open house next week.
Yeah, thank you. So here's where I do read my emails pretty carefully, typically. And I got this freebie. Someone sent me a freebie for a 3D put furniture in the home, right? And then I knew Sonia was, so I used it and it was free. They said just to try it. And I thought it was a great idea. So I did it, the freebie. And then I sent it to Sonia and now her client wants to use it again. I can look for that email if anyone wants it. And just send it to me, or I can forward it to everyone. I don't know if it's still good, but it doesn't hurt to try, right? That's what she did. And now she's giving them business, but it just looks so much nicer. And that reminded me, Kathy, you're the other person with the listing. I forgot to write it down. So congratulations, Kathy's getting a listing as well. I do have a question, Sonia. So you said you're not going on market till next week, which is what I thought, but for some reason I was able to see it. So I don't know if they gave me different access now or what's going on.
Oh yeah, it shouldn't be on market till the 30th.
Okay, it was in a different color. I'll have to check with the office. Maybe I now have special permissions I didn't know I have because I was able to see your listing.
Oh,
So
don't scare me, Barbara.
I know. And I was wondering because I was actually trying to share it for our class tomorrow and I couldn't do it. And I thought, what the heck? But I think I must have some special privileges I didn't have a week ago.
Okay.
So I'll check in on that, but
Okay.
good. It looked very nice, Sonia, just so you know.
Okay, thank you.
And then Kathy has a probate listing coming up. So she's going through some different experiences. Is there anything you want to share about that, Kathy?
Let's see, it's actually in a trust, so it's not quite, I guess that's in a way it's
It was,
probated.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just learning new things. The only thing I can think of is I am making sure that I keep all the communication open between my seller and his attorney and trying to answer the questions that, that one question they had the other day that I sent you an email. I found out what that was about. Apparently they want a minimum of what we're expecting to sell the house for so they can share it with all the beneficiaries. That's what that question was.
Oh, so he just he worded it weird. Okay.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Yeah, he did. So the seller actually explained it to me. So we gave him a figure of a minimum of 650.
Perfect.
So anyway, so I learned that, but one of the things I am learning is I've not ever had to work between a seller and a probate attorney and answering all those questions. So keeping up the, up the communication, and I've been working with them now for about almost a year to get this going. So that's one thing I've learned is to really be available,
Good.
get these things going.
That's good. Thank you, Kathy.
welcome.
And in this case, it has, the attorneys told her that she had to give 60 days to take the listing and then wait 60 days before it hits the market because the family has to be notified that it's going to go on market in case, I think they have the opportunity to buy it is possibly what that is all about.
Okay.
So there's all these different rules. So I know in bold, some of you may now he may have talked about this. Cody may have talked about reaching out to attorneys for probates and things like that. If that is the case, I suggest you really learn what you have to know about that because there are different things that come into play and you kind of want to know up front and Kathy's learning as she goes and that we do that as well. But just kind of, if you are one of those people sending out those kind of notes or letters to attorneys, please kind of start doing some background investigations on it as well. Okay?
And one thing I want to add too, and this is just for me, I've been in the business for a while, but I've always, every transaction is new. And so that's why I really still like having a mentor and working with Barbara because you have the experience and we can bounce off questions because everything's different. And I've
Mhm.
actually chosen not to just go completely on my own. I'm not comfortable with it anyway, so I
Me
appreciate
neither.
Barbara.
Oh,
Mhm.
thank you, Kathy. And that wasn't a plug I was trying for. Thank
No,
you.
I didn't take it that way at all.
Sure, Bob.
No, it's just me, and I'm just much more comfortable because it's always new and I want to put my clients first and do a good job.
Okay,
know.
thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. And we are here to help you guys. So, you know, honestly, I want to reiterate that we're not here to take your money. And you know, and some of you are not even necessarily in the program anymore. You just come to the meetings, and that's great. It's good for you to do that and keep learning. But as I continually mention, we're always continuously learning in this business. Every day is different. I was in the meeting on Monday. One of the people there, Steve, I just went blank. He's oh my God, I hate when I do that. Anyway, Steve has been in the business longer than me. And he was sitting at that meeting and I heard him ask a question, and because it was something new he'd heard. And you know, he's been in it like 30 years. So we are always learning. So that's why it's fun, right?
Mhm.
Who
Yep.
has been listening to John King lately? Raise your hand. You guys, I will send it out again, but if you haven't, I really encourage you to listen to him. Doesn't mean you have to use him. Just listen to him. He is just loves to share knowledge, and he is such a wealth of knowledge. So I did take a few notes from his, I listened to him just recently, and he said, just so y'all know, Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae is giving desktop approvals now, and it's a requirement of 10% down. So you have to at least have 10% down. And he also mentioned something that I thought was really interesting. Appraisers are impacted. People are not becoming appraisers. Because it used to be, in order to get your appraisal license, you had to do like an internship with a real appraiser for like a lot of hours. I'm saying like 2,000 hours, right? Well, that meant that if I were an appraiser, and let's say John wanted to be my apprentice, I would have John go out and do all the footwork, right? And then he'd bring it back, and then we'd all put it together in our reports. Well, they don't allow that anymore. So consequently, experienced appraisers don't necessarily there's not real benefit to have someone like John come in and help me do that footwork for free. So they're not doing it. So I think it says that in John's video, he talked about how they're going to be doing a lot more desktop underwriting. Doesn't mean appraisals will cost less. It just means more desktop underwriting is going to happen. So you're going to hear more about this. But how did I know this? I listened to John. John likes to share. So I definitely recommend you go and listen. The other thing he talked about was who's noticed what interest rates are doing lately? Okay, anyone give me a number maybe they've seen, like for a FHA loan?
I want to say over 4.
Definitely over 4.
Mhm.
Any 4.25 is what I last saw Friday. Okay. And I saw you make that face, Janice, but I want to ask you a question, just because Janice and I are around the same, genre. Janice, I don't know when you bought your first home, but what was your first home interest rate?
I want to say 3.125, but I also know that we rented for 25 years because interest rates were crazy. Some as high as 20%.
Okay, so okay, and that's true. Audrey, what was yours?
11 3/4.
Say that again.
11 3/4%.
Mhm.
You guys all
First
hear
home.
that? Kathy?
1984.
Which
1984.
year, Audrey?
Yeah.
Which year you bought your
I
house?
bought my first
1984.
property. Yeah, I bought
19.
my first property in 1980. And it was at 14.5% by the time we closed, because it just kept on skyrocketing just within that 30-day window period. It was crazy.
Crazy. So,
Mhm.
okay, thank you for sharing that, you guys. My first one was in 1993 and it was 7.5%. And I was so happy.
Uh-huh.
Right? So I just want to point that out, because we have to, the faces like Janice just made, Janice, I'm picking on you, but it was perfect. It's perfect segue. We can't make those faces in front of our clients because honestly, these rates are terrific.
Mhm.
Okay. The gone for now are those 3%, 2.5%, all those crazy rates we've seen, some of us have seen over the last 2 years, they're gone. So when we say, yeah, rates are 4.5 or 5, he anticipates they're going to go high 4s, low 5s, 5%, we have to just smile. Okay. Because we don't want to scare them. Because because honestly, I want you to always think of these perspectives. So I am buying a house at 5% interest rate, or I'm renting a house that I'm paying someone else's mortgage for. Which is better?
Having your own.
Having your own, right? So we
Right.
always have to come from, looking that we have to have that straight face, because yeah, it sounds like it's a lot, but in reality, we're helping our clients not pay for their landlord's mortgage, right? Which is what you have to do. Either you live with mom and dad for free, or you're paying someone's mortgage, or they already have it paid off and you're paying for their retirement or their vacations in, wherever.
Mhm.
So those are the options. Pay your own mortgage at 5% or pay someone else's mortgage and get nothing. Okay, so keep that in mind, because as they crawl up higher and higher, we're the ones that have to face our people, and they're going to go, oh, but I should have bought last year. No, you're buying now, because if you were renting last year and you're renting now, you're not contributing to any of your family's wealth, right? So remember that perspective. The other thing he said that was really interesting, and I've really observed this as well, is that he doesn't anticipate prices are going to be going down. They may not skyrocket like they have been, but they're not going down. And here's the reason. Right now, 22% of 25 to 34-year-olds, guess where they live?
At home.
At home. And some of you may be experiencing this, but I was for a while. They live at home, right? And so consequently, they're going to finally recognize I can't live at home anymore. And this is an age group. I've seen it with like my nieces and nephews. Some of them still think they're 22 and they're really now 33. Right? There was this delay in growing up. COVID probably helped that as well. But in any case, there is still a shortage of homes. These people are going to start, they have started actually. They're the millennials. They have started moving out into being buyers. And it's going to put more pressure on buying homes. So the prices are going to stay high, but more people are going to want to move out of mom and dad's or wherever they're living and buy. Okay, because rent is going up.
I think
Yes,
I read somewhere we're like 2 million short nationwide.
Yeah. And we, fortunately, you can see where all the homes are being built, right? So so we have the dilemma of some of those people are moving from the Bay, so they didn't have a home to sell in our area, or maybe they're moving up. They're living in a smaller home and now they're moving into those brand new homes. But we need to be paying attention to that. And that's a good target market, the 22 to 34-year-olds. Okay. So keep that in mind, because when people say, and if you guys saw the script, it's about an objection about, well, the market, we think the market's going to go down or whatever. That's not what they anticipate, not for the next several years. So it's better to buy now than again, keep renting and paying someone else's mortgage. So we have to keep that in mind. The challenge is who can afford the mortgages, honestly, but people don't necessarily have to buy their castle first. They need to buy into a home. And that's the other respect we have to think about. Maybe this isn't going to be your castle. This is your stepping stone into your next home. So just to help people out, we are their advisors. So we need to share that kind of information with them. Okay. I definitely recommend, I will send out John's information again. And I definitely recommend you guys subscribe and listen. And he's planning 2 webinars a week now. One is for realtors for information we should know. One is for consumers. So you can also share that with buyers if you want. Doesn't mean they have to use him again. If they can, he's a great lender. We have lots of great lenders. Joe from Caliber did a really great presentation on Monday. I was really excited about that. And we of course have Evergreen Mortgage that will be coming on to help us give a presentation in a couple of weeks. So just stay tuned for that. And then I wanted to talk about market trends. So I just was going to go through them really quick in case none of you have paid attention. Mountain House, 14 in inventory right now. And their median list price is $992,000.
Wow.
Crazy, right? Tracy, 54 in inventory right now. Their median price is $792,000. Okay. Of course, these are all strong sellers market. I won't even go with that, but you all know. Lathrop, 13 in inventory. Not very many for all the homes in Lathrop. 850,000.
River Islands.
Yeah, that's probably driving it. You're right. But
Yeah.
still 850,000. That's pretty high. Modesto, 108 in inventory, 470,000. I went back, I didn't do this in order. I thought I did, sorry. Salida, here's a target market. There's a lot of homes in Salida as well. 4 in inventory, 525,000. Ripon, 13 in inventory. That's a lot for Ripon. 919,000. Actually, it's 919,999. So basically 920. That's crazy.
In Ripon, median?
In Ripon.
Wow.
Ripon is very elite if you haven't been there. They're kind
There's
of
a
like
great-
Lodi.
Okay, there you go.
I went there.
There's a great,
I
Go
went
ahead.
there trick or treating with my son, and they were literally giving the parents like, "Hey, come on in, take some wine, some shots." Like that's how Ripon.
wow, there you go.
Yeah.
There's a
Okay.
Mexican restaurant, Las Casuelas in Ripon, that has the best cucumber margaritas, just in
Okay,
case you need to know that.
Thank you. There's a plug for them. Manteca, 58 in inventory. Oh my God, 707. Again, that's all the new homes. They're driving that.
Mhm.
Okay. Stockton, 171 in inventory, 458,888. So 459. That's the highest I've ever seen Stockton for median. Okay. And Lodi, 39 in inventory, 639.5. Okay, you guys. So what is that again? Tell us what we need to target.
Listings.
Listings, really important. And I actually have seen the number of listings in our market centers go up, but wouldn't you guys all like to be the ones to get a listing like Sonia has and like Kathy has?
Yep.
Because it's really exciting and you get to be in charge. You get to drive that. So, you know, think about it. If you get that listing opportunity, vacant homes, think about maybe getting some virtual pictures. They will cost you. The free one doesn't, but then I think they're about $30 a picture or 25. I don't remember. And then it depends how many you get. But honestly, I did it on mine. They do look nice. And it's again, investing in your business. Always think about getting professional photography done. It really is important as well. So let me see, what else did I have? What? Oh, I wanted to share how many, a couple of little notes. Transaction coordinators. I wanted to bring this up because it's been coming, little issues have been coming up. So I thought I'd just bring it up real quick. Transaction coordinators. We do want you all to use a transaction coordinator on your first transactions. Who can give a shout out about what's the benefit of using a transaction coordinator?
Organizing everything.
Yeah, timeline.
Keeping things moving.
Mhm.
Yeah. Honestly, it does help. I have something that I should be doing right now, and I really didn't even have time to send it to my transaction coordinator, but they do help because you're doing things like your classes or you're out showing property or working with your sellers. And you can, that transaction coordinator in the background can keep everything moving. It really is helpful. I do now have a list of transaction coordinators that we are recommending within the program. I think there's 5 or 6 on there. So if anyone needs that list, please ask.
Yeah.
I'll send it out to you. Okay.
So Barbara, I know that there's some that we have been suggested to use. Maybe we should talk offline.
Okay. Well, and so I don't know what you're going to say, but I'll say this. On that list, they're not in any particular order. I think they're alphabetical by first name. I've spoken to all of them, so they know how to do our demands and how I would like them to work with everyone. But I do want feedback. If you've worked with one and you're not very happy with them, please let us know. Okay, because I'm going to always give someone another chance. But in the event that we keep hearing the same thing over and over, we're going to take them off the list. Okay, and the people that are on that list currently, I've chosen to use only people who are only doing transaction coordination now, not running their own business on the side as well, because I know that becomes an issue. So I don't know who any of you are using, but if that's the issue, then I've tried to use people who are strictly transaction coordinators. Remember, they always have to have a real estate license. Because you're in this program, we like to work with certain ones because they know how we do things. But along that line, there's things I don't want them to do for you. I do not want them inputting to MetroList. You all have to do that yourself. You need to know what you're doing. This is your business. They've never been to the home at all. So you definitely need to do that yourself. The other thing, they are not to write your contracts for you. We had someone an agent, brand new, first contract, and the transaction coordinator basically wrote the contract. So I was like, oh my God, well, that's kind of defeating the whole purpose, right? But along that line, I do wanted to say, I did check with our broker, and yes, they can help you because they are all licensed, but really you need to learn how to write your own contract. So that's not the purpose of it. It's in the pinch. Like right now, what I might have done with my TC is said, Christy, I need an addendum done. Can you write this for me? And I would tell her exactly what to write. Now I've been doing this for 19 years. She's been doing it for quite a long time as well. She could do that. It's a one-line sentence. She's not writing my whole purchase contract. Okay, there's the difference there, right? This actually came across where she wrote the whole purchase contract for the agent. And then you know how when you do a purchase contract, you're supposed to send it to your success coach to review it. So it did go to the success coach. The success coach reviewed it. It went back to the transaction coordinator and she made the corrections. Oh my God. kind of not the right way to do things, right?
And why would she do that?
I don't know. Good thing we found out about it, but that is not cool. Please don't do this.
Good question, Audrey. I question that too.
Yeah, we put an end to that one. But yeah, that's not the way it works. We want you to learn how to do this because we want to cut that umbilical cord, so do you, so that you can go off and run your business and do your own thing and feel comfortable and confident that you're not going to get yourself or your business company in trouble. Okay, that's the whole purpose of all of this. Okay. The other thing I wanted to share, has anyone noticed that does anyone know what MAPS coaching is?
I get the emails.
Okay, you get the emails. So right now, Keller Williams is, very learning based. Keller Williams is very learning based. And so right now you're basically in the productivity coaching. We're helping you from the ground up. Once you get to a certain level, you may want to invest into MAPS coaching, which is basically another level of coaching. And a lot of coaches are paid up to like $1,000, $1,200 a year. Okay, which is maybe like $100 a month, whatever. And you pay for coaching, and Keller Williams has all kinds of coaching programs out there. The emails that you're getting though are for free coaching from MAPS coaches. So they've really been expanding on that. And when you see those emails, I encourage you to open up and look at them because I just looked at March and there's not very much left. So I probably won't bring it up, but we're coming up to the end of this month. they're going to start putting the April calendars out. April will have a series of free MAPS coaching events that you can do online. And you're going to get the perspective of really, really experienced and successful people who are trained to do this, by the way. They have classes, they have to achieve certain levels to be a MAPS coach. They don't just I can't go say I want to be a MAPS coach. I'd have to go through a bunch of training. And, like I said, they make a lot of money monthly. So I do encourage you to pay attention to those emails. And I don't want you to be a full-time student, but I encourage you to take a look and see, oh, this one might be something I want to get into. I've heard of some of you wanting to perhaps do luxury. That's a great opportunity. Start paying attention to those emails to take part in some of that free luxury coaching and learn about it, right? We're going to, in our next team meeting, I won't be here, I'll be on vacation. Patrick's going to do it, but we're going to have a speaker talking about coaching for new builds. She's going to just come in and talk about her program because Keller Williams is developing all these segments. One is new builds, one is military, one is luxury. I believe there's like I think they're calling it like black and brown buyers, something like that. I don't know.
The sports one that Liz did.
Sports. But there's all kinds of different segments they're developing, and they're coming up with more all the time. And so maybe that is a target market you want to work on. Hispanic buyers, I forgot, it's going to be like 75% coming. Those of you, these are people but these are different segments you want to maybe look into. Maybe you're a veteran, or maybe you want to target veterans and know more about the VA, and then call yourself an expert in that, because you would start going to training with along that line of segment. So just stuff to look into. And I definitely encourage you to look into those free courses. They're free, right? Maybe that's a 2-hour course you get to listen to. it's just going to expand you. And again, don't be a full-time student. We want you to go out and build your business, but just something for you to know about. It's there for you. There are opportunities. Okay. So thanks for, yeah, sports. So I'm going to maybe have her speak at one of our meetings, but Liz she's in our Modesto Market Center is now in the sports one. And she's in Modesto. So I guess I know they're like, well, Stockton, we have the Stockton Ports. I mean, that's sports. There's a minor league basketball, I think that's still here. Those are, there's different opportunities. People do retire from those activities, and then they come in and live in our valley. Tracy has lots of athletes that live in Tracy, former athletes. People move. So or they buy investment properties. So it's good for you to know those target markets and concentrate on one maybe. Okay. I don't know. I don't have that much more left today because like I said, yesterday was not a regular day for me. So I wasn't really prepared today, but let's see. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share? Jonathan, I'm going to call on you. John, I think you joined a team. Is that correct?
Congrats.
Or you're shaking your head. What does that mean?
You're muted.
So it's my second one in a year, and the first one didn't work out, but this one it's clicking. Everything's working out to my benefit, and I'm learning a lot.
Good to hear. Okay, so Jonathan has gone through the program, and he's done all his, he met the agreement that we have you all sign at the beginning of the program. And then he explored a team. That one didn't quite work out. And now he's joined another. So good for you, Jonathan. I'm happy that that's working for you. And look, he's still here. So he wants to learn. He's always learning and he's always sharing as well. So I do appreciate that. And I always encourage you guys, if you are going to think about joining a team once you've met your agreement, I definitely encourage you to talk to us first so that we can share what we know about it. And I always encourage you to interview 2 teams. Don't just join one. Okay. Don't just join the first one. Interview 2 teams so it's a good click or a good feel for you and you have questions to ask. And I've been compiling some questions. I don't have it all prepared yet, but I will get that better prepared. So if any of you come to me, I can maybe give you those list of questions that you might want to ask that team when you interview with them, because that would be very useful for you as well. So not everyone wants to be an individual agent, and that's okay. Keller Williams is built on teams. That's wrong. Keller Williams actually has more independent agents than teams, but the team concept, Keller Williams built. Okay. I think I said that better this time. So it's an opportunity, and there are good teams out there that you may want to participate in and continue to build your business that way. But you need to know what you're doing first, just like anything else. Before you go buy a car, you probably research which cars have the best gas mileage, best rates, all that, best amenities. Same thing when you're going to join a team. I encourage you to do that. Okay.
Good job, Barbara.
Thank you. I'm really trying to be fair, because I am happy that Jonathan is finding a place that he's happy at. That's really good. Let's see, anybody else? So Shani, did I have you introduce yourself last week? Because honestly, I can barely remember last week.
No, I am fairly a new agent.
Okay.
And Beth is my productivity coach. And I haven't even been with Keller for a week. So.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure. I lose track.
Oh.
So thank you. Thank you for introducing yourself. And Shani, I think you came from another office, correct?
I did, yes. I'm fairly a new agent. I started last November, but I do have 4 deals under my belt. And I'm working on a couple more listings coming up here shortly. So that's.
And you're doing an open house tomorrow?
Yes, that's right.
So
yeah.
she was in the office one day and we went and found an agent with a listing, and she's hosting an open house tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow, good for you.
Thank you.
So she's
The
not
benefit
sitting
of
back
coming
waiting.
into the office, guys.
Yeah.
Benefit of being in the
Honestly,
office.
I encourage you all to come in the office. In fact, I'm going to have you put a date on your calendar. I have to pull mine out real fast because I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I will tell you. I think it's April 18th. There's going to be a team meeting in the Manteca office. I believe it's April 18th. Put that on your calendar. Plan to drive all the way to Manteca. Not far. And come to it, because I'm going to make that a fun, exciting meeting. I want to see people in the offices, and this is a great way to do it. I heard I have a coaching call every morning. I heard a great idea, so I'm going to start working on that plan. But I want you guys there. I'm going to drive you there with maybe some bribery, but come to the office. And we're also going to have a speaker. She's going to be a lawyer speaking about trust. And she's going to speak, and it's going to be also for the benefit of us, not just trust, but you know, as you're in this business, if you don't have a trust, as you become successful, because we hope you're going to be in this business and become successful, we want you to learn the different aspects, and you should probably have your holdings in a trust, right? Because you want to be able to, if you work really hard, you become very successful. As you work very hard, as you become very successful, you want to make sure that your family is taken care of in the event something happens to you, right? So we're going to have someone come and speak to that on the 18th in the Manteca office. You'll get to see the office. It'll be at 11. All team meetings are the first and third Monday of the month at 11 o'clock. Okay, so we'll be at 11 o'clock on that date. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm going to try to make it a fun meeting for everyone so that you can come. And we're going to work on that continuously, because it's so nice to see people in the offices again. I know some of you maybe work or already, and you're like Sarah, you're at work and you're listening in, but try to come to the office. For instance, back to the buyer workshop. It's an opportunity to come in and see your peers and your associates and work with your coaches in person and learn. So we're offering that to you 5 to 7. That's usually when I'm home with my husband. I'm going to be out there. I want to be out there with you guys. So do your success coaches. So take that opportunity and sign up for it. So that I'll send it out again today. Sign up for it so you can learn and grow. Okay. We're here. We want to make this work for all of you. We want to see your success. I know Beth shares that with me. The time we spend with you, you guys, we could be working on our own clients and making those $14,000, $15,000, $20,000 checks. But no, we're spending that time with you because we want to see you guys learn, grow, and thrive. Okay. That's why we talked you into coming into this company, right? And so please, we want to help you. Anything else anyone wants to share before I turn this over to Beth and carefully? See,
congrats to Janice on February. She killed it.
Wait, say that again.
I said congrats to Janice on the month of February. She absolutely killed it.
That's right. That's who I sent a note out to. Janice, thank you for bringing that up. Janice was noted as being one of the top agents in the month of February.
Saw that.
Thank you.
That is always cool to see, because what is that? I mean, that's definitely a reflection of Janice, but hopefully also a little bit of the program, because we help you get to your success faster. So Janice, good for you. But mostly it's of Janice, because who had to do the hustling?
Janice.
Yeah. Right?
And Janice has been hustling.
And I was just lucky that they both closed in the same month.
Well, yeah, I mean, it works out that way, right? Because I have a deal. I got some clients into a new home build contract, I think I want to say April. It's been almost a year. It's finally going to close April 1st. Holy cow, right? And I was hoping it'd be this month too, but oh well, I'll take it. Yeah, so Beth, I believe I've made you host. Can you confirm that?
Let me see. Mute, stop, choose. It doesn't give me an option to make someone else. Let me go over somebody's.
It says co-host guest.
Yeah, I think you're co-host already.
Okay, I think you are.
Okay.
Okay, very good. I'm going to go ahead and stop there, but thank you for all for being here. I hope this was still beneficial. Sorry I wasn't as quite prepared as I'd have liked to have been, but hopefully you all got some nuggets out of this. And I will speak to Leslie about what else she might be able to teach for y'all. Okay, have a good rest of your week. Take care.
Thanks, Barbara.
Bye now.